Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about the magic of Lego lighting. So the first trick I'm going to teach you is how to protect your wire. Don't just snap the bricks on top of each other or jam it through the gap between two bricks. Although sometimes that is the best solution. If you put it between the bricks, apply pressure with the loose brick and then push the brick into place to prevent the wire from getting cut. What I do is I take a plate, two round plates, and another plate on top to create my own little passageway for all my wires when I'm going through walls, because I want to avoid friction and damage to my wires at all costs. If you're going to snap a part on top of wire, I recommend tiles. They have nice round edges, so you're less likely to damage it. Next, don't pinch your wires on a stud. If you're trying to put your fixture on a round stud and you're using a round plate to go over that wire, if it doesn't cut the wire, it's going to permanently damage the insulation. You're going to have problems with that LED later on down the road. If you want to hide your LED under a plate, I always recommend doing a square plate if the wire isn't ran through a hole. Here's why I say that. You look at the bottom of a plate or brick and you have 4 corners. Each one of those corners gives you a gap between the inside stud and the outside wall of the brick or plate. So if you're going to hide your LED in this manner, make sure you use square, because you'll always have that little bit of a gap to protect the wire. Although I will tell you, I'm not against cutting or drilling in my Lego pieces. If you do want to drill, I use a 1/8 drill bit, and I do that because the drill bit will fit inside the official hole on all Lego parts. It's also why all the products I sell on my website have a 0.8mm plug, because that plug will slide through any hole. Here's another tip. I use the modified round plate 79194 in trans clear to do my streetlight poles. I also recently used it on my pressed steel building. And the reason I do that, if you look at the inside of the part, you have a nice little cavity. And you can set your LED light on that, and it'll easily let you attach it to the bottom of a plate. So in the case of my street lights, this part gives you a good point of attachment, but it also gives you more light distribution due to the trans clear bubble that's sticking out of it. The next thing I want to say is don't use tiles to go over the LED light. I say that because on the inside of a tile, there is no cavity. If you look at a standard round plate, there is a small cavity on the inside of it, just like in the modified plate I just showed you. And that little cavity gives you more than enough space to be able to slide the LED light inside of that and snap it onto another brick. If you're going to use a tile, make sure it's a 1x2, because the LED can slide in between the two studs and then the tile will hold it in place. Now let's talk about how to bring power into your Lego buildings. I build on Mills plates. The reason I do that is it gives me a nice cavity to run all my wires through. But you still got to bring the wire up and into the building. How I accomplish that is I will use a 2x4 modified plate with 3 Technic holes and run my feeder wire up into the building. Once I'm in the building, I can simply tile over the wire, and if I want to keep going with power up to the next floor, I can use these modular building connectors. If you don't build on Mills, I suggest bringing the power through the Technic brick on the side of the building and then attaching all your wires and finish wiring your building that way. It's a little more tedious to do it, but you can still daisy chain your buildings together with every wire coming out of every building. And I also have a unique new product coming out very soon that I can't wait to show you guys that will make attaching buildings together completely wireless. More about that in another video. If you're going to run your wire between 2 plates, let me give you another very big tip. Just like when you put it between 2 bricks, if you put it between 2 plates, you want to apply pressure to the wire first, have that side attached to the studs below, and then push the other side down. Because if you don't, it will cut the wire. While we're talking about buildings, let me show you some great ways to hide the wiring and lights inside of them. My absolute favorite techniques, if I'm just using standard LEDs, is I like to take the 2x2 inverted disc, set the LED inside of it, and then attach it to the bottom of the floor, or the ceiling of the floor above it. It's great because there's a ton of room inside of these, and it doesn't pinch the wire in any way. I hope you found this video helpful, and I'll be making more lighting videos very soon.